Burma, Episode 3, Inle Lake. Inle Lake is large, it's 22 miles long and is at 4,000 feet, so it's cold at night. It's famous because there are a lot of floating islands on it, where people both live and grow fruit and vegetables. Off to the interior, Hei-Ho Airport, and our first of 4 flights on Yangon Airways. The domestic terminal at Yangon was worse than Nassau, not even the Wendy's. The views of the countryside we flew over on our way to Hei-Ho. The top circle is Hei-Ho and the bottom circle is Orion Palace in the lake. Arriving at the airport, and the reason for the picture of the bridge is that it was built in 1937, a very auspicious year. On our way to our hotel, we stop at this wooden monastery with our usual Buddha, and if you put your name on the board and make a donation, and our donation, like everybody else, was 5,000 cha, which is in fact $5. Didn't see anybody else on the board from the Bahamas, or Scotland, or even Canada, because once you put your name up there, they then transcribe it onto this permanent board. These local ladies had very colourful headdresses and were very nice, and the novice monks were mopping out this temple area, and it was full of water which we had to walk in our bare feet. A little further on, we arrive at the head of the lake and board our boat for the hotel, Abercrombie and Kent, our private boat. Our luggage is under the green tarpaulin, and we set off for an hour's ride to the hotel on a beautiful day, a beautiful lake. Our hotel is about 1/3 down. You can see it on the right. You can see our hotel more clearly on the right there, and at the bottom you can see the floating market. Here we are approaching the Orion Palace, and there's the dockmaster ready to tie us up. The entrance to the hotel, the lobby, which is open air, the swimming pool, which was very cold, and looking back at the dock. A refreshing drink of lime, and this man is setting the fire for the evening, so it's very cold. Our villa, looking from the entrance, a bed with a mosquito net, a shower which was big and lovely but not much water, and a bathtub which was big and lovely and even less water. It took hours to fill and there wasn't enough hot water. Surrounded by the mosquito net, in fact I didn't see many mosquitoes, and our patio and view from the patio. And we are off to breakfast. It's still cool. I got on a sweater, but the sun was out this morning. The walk from our villa to the main area, dining room, etc., and you can see how cold it is. We have our winter clothes on. Today it is out with our trusty boatsman onto the lake, and you can see the fishermen. They use one leg to maneuver the boat with a paddle attached to it, and the other to deal with the net. There was a lot of traffic on the lake and in the canals, and here we have some of the houses that are built on the lake. first stop was at this pagoda. And you will note that ladies are prohibited from going up to what we would describe as the altar. Apparently this particular Buddha gets transported out of here every year and goes damaged, so we are trying to repair it by putting gold leaf. And it was quite difficult to get it to stick onto the Buddha. This lady is making all sorts of food items, particularly tofu, which some people seem to enjoy. I don't. And next door were more of these lovely ladies with their headdresses.
We will visit the 12th century, 18th century, and once again, 15th century once again. Because of fire, someone donate on the offering the candle feet on the Buddha image. How pity! Original 11th century.
A short ride away, it was a cigar making operation. And if you watch this lady coming up now, this is the time that it takes her to make one cigar.
Very good. Very adept at it, isn't it?
No, depends.
The ladies were all sitting in a row, and they get paid by the number of cigars they make every day. Actually, they're really shrewd. And then we bought a few from this lady, and you'll notice the makeup on her face. They all use that to protect themselves from the sun. Cigars to silk. This lady is putting the raw silk onto spools. And then we watched a couple of other ladies working their machines. This lady looked as though she was playing an organ. This man is pressing the dye, make it liquid so they can get it into the thread. On the silk factory, it was time to have lunch. Here we are sitting on the balcony overlooking the canal and the boats going by and enjoying the food. It was a very good lunch. And even the beer was good. This, for some reason, was a gentleman's loo, and there were a lot of cats around, and one of them refused to get off GN's shoulder. All Burmese, beautiful looking cats they were too. After lunch, it was time to go and look at the floating gardens, which of course is what the lake is famous for. And you will notice all these bamboo stakes that are stuck in the ground, and these are there to hold the land in place so it doesn't float away.
Cabbages.
Here they were growing mainly tomatoes, and that's cabbage in front of you.
White bird, an egret.
This was a shortcut. There was quite a lot of traffic in this area where we were watching. All the work was done from boats. And here we have the local laundry and the jumping cat monastery. There were plenty of cats, and if you put your hand in front of them, they would jump over it. It was a bit boring. And of course there were some monks around. We were not allowed to use that bathroom. There they were, all ready to queue up. Hotel for a glass of Sauvignon Blanc, and the winery was just down the road. And off for our last breakfast, some pancakes and French toast. It was very good. Here the staff are being given a lecture on how to deal with guests in the dining room, and then we set off back to the airport. Road building is a little primitive, and you don't see an awful lot of equipment around. Perhaps a roller. And the transport is also pretty primitive. You still use bullocks. The signposts are very hard to read, and we think we're going in the right direction, and after an hour and a half it's very wearing on the body. We're therefore very glad to arrive at Heiho Airport and drink a little 100 plus, which is good for dehydration apparently. So now it's off to Mandalay, the road to Mandalay.